Hi, Erick Schonfeld here with TechCrunch. I'm with Drew Houston, CEO and founder of Dropbox. And today is, you finally officially announced that you closed your big $250 million round. And this is a Series B?
Yeah.
Is this the largest Series B ever in the history?
It might be. Yeah, I mean, our lawyers are cracking up over that we hadn't rolled through more letters.
Right.
For sure.
But you actually closed it in September. But
We did.
You're announcing it today.
Yeah, end of September.
Right. So that is, tell me a little bit about, well, A, why did it take you so long to do a Series B? Mm-hmm. How long, and how big was your Series A? When was that? And this is an unusual fundraising process.
Sure.
Just take me a little bit through that.
Yeah, so we last raised money in October 2008. So that was our Series A with Sequoia and Excel. Actually for this, it turned out that the company was profitable. We weren't even really on the lookout. There was no sort of driving event that made us think carefully, heavily about funding. It was really totally opportunistic, but when Arash and I thought about it, it's like, last year we had millions of users. This year we have tens of millions of users, and we've got a pretty clear path towards hundreds of millions of users. And we're operating at just a completely different scale now. So there's a lot to be said for being aggressive, or having the flexibility to make more aggressive bets, and whether it's things like the partnership we announced with HTC in the article. Or acquisitions and just generally growing the team. And there's a lot more balls in the air now. Right.
So all throughout this period, and the A was what, 7?
It was 6 million, and then we did a seed in 2007 of 1.2.
Right.
Sequoia.
So 7 million-ish total capital before.
Yeah.
And basically since that time, you've had plenty of opportunities to raise more money, and you chose not to because you were really running lean and you didn't have to, right?
Right.
So what was it about? Was it just about the quality of the investors who kept on coming to you? Was it about finally figuring out what you could do with that money to really take the company to the next level? Why now?
Actually, we are just getting started, both from a product standpoint and from our audience standpoint. So when you look at a number like 40 or 45 odd million users, the way we think about it is that actually that's a pretty small number in comparison to how many people out there who have a computer or a phone, or an internet connection. And so we're only a couple % of the way there.
Sure. So of the 250 million, how much of that is going back into the company? How much of that's being taken off the table by shareholders, insiders?
So it's all gone into the company.
All of it. Really?
Yeah.
You didn't take any of it off the table.
So nobody sold any stock. I mean, we just don't comment on that kind of thing. Especially in light of all the.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, that's sort of refreshing, right? Because you've seen, certainly, companies. I mean, I was just saying today. I was talking to Bill Gross and saying that this is like bigger than an IPO in terms of the actual money that was raised compared to like even a decade ago.
Sure.
Right. And so it is a liquidity event, and it certainly makes sense for founders to take money off the table. But you're seeing different ways that founders are taking money off the table, especially when sometimes the companies need the cash and sometimes they don't. So interesting to hear like your thoughts on that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's something that we've talked about with our investors. I mean, it's flexibility, right? But as far as specifics, we just don't comment on that.
But so the 250 million. I could see you spending that on a lot of things. You could spend that on marketing to increase awareness. You can spend that on building out the infrastructure beyond what you're doing, hiring engineers, hiring salespeople. I mean, all of the above. Are there particular areas that now you'll be able to do that you weren't able to do before, or could do it faster?
Well, I think it's the kind of thing where opportunities surface, and and it's like a week in which you have to make in which you can make a decision. We just thought it made, as we looked at our long-term model and different things, we just thought it made a lot of sense that if an acquisition comes up or other partnership opportunities come up, or creative things we can do on the business model side come up, or there's just the flexibility to experiment with advertising. Our growth has been zero advertising to date, but maybe that's something that could change in the future.
Let me ask a little bit about sort of the valuation and how that kept changing,
Yeah.
right? So, and we reported this. I mean, initially it was sort of, I think, in the $1 billion range, and then $2 billion, and then we heard things as high as 10 billion, and then sort of settled at 4. And I think that was a function of which investors you finally ended up going with. But and this was just in a matter of months, really, how the valuation changed. Was there actually, that much change in your underlying business that warranted that change in valuation, or was it more sort of the market was just really hungry for, getting a piece of Dropbox?
Yeah, I think it's all the above. I mean, one of the things we mentioned today is that we're on pace to triple our user base this year, and so,
To what?
So we're not disclosing exact figures. We're saying we have more than 45 million users right now, but.
So
If you look at
150,
if you, if we're saying within the year of 2011, we'll get there. But if you look at like last year, beginning of last year, January 2010, we had 4 million users. Now we have more than 10 times that.
Wow.
And so I think that's how, and the business, I won't
how many
get
of
into
those are paying
specifics.
users?
So I can't get into specifics on that, but that has certainly grown alongside the rest of the user growth for sure.